Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. It's your host, Rising Oblivion. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about even more Soul Hackers 2 information. So, we have some new character profiles for Soul Hackers 2, but this time, instead of it being sort of the protagonist, these are the antagonists. So we can actually learn a little bit more about not just the antagonist characters, but also some more of the story. And this goes into depth about the Covenants, which is something that we have sort of been speculating. I've talked about it in a few past videos, but it looks like these covenants of these different demon summoners, it looks like these covenants are going to be having a much bigger impact than I think we even thought. So the thing is, it starts out like this. We're just going to go over this story bit that it has here, and then go into the character profile. So it goes into the story saying this story is about covenants. Ringo and Fig have arrived on Earth to avert a destruction of the human race. Each has targets to protect, people necessary to prevent the destruction, which we kind of known about. Figu's target is Chironda, gets killed by a man named Iron Mask and Xenon, which we have seen before, and it's that sort of, I believe it's going to be that like scientist guy who are after mysterious energy entities known as Covenants. So we have the Covenants there, and it goes on to talk about the Phantom Society, which we know a little bit about, at least with some of the characters that are going to be within our main group of protagonists. We know about the Phantom Society a little bit because we know Milady is actually part of the Phantom Society. So it says, a huge organization of devil summoners, which Iron Mask belongs to, is trying to take control of all Covenants. It's said that with all of them gathered, a great being will descend. So a great being will descend if he ends up being able to gather all the Covenants together, and this is the long-sought destiny of the Phantom Societies. So we know that this is the main goal when it comes to that certain clan, I guess you could say, or certain group of the Phantom Society. So it says, Yatagarasu, butchering the names, the supernatural agency entrusted by the spiritual protection of Japan, has set out to sabotage the Phantom Society's goal by preventing their collection of covenants, which we have just learned a little bit about. The destruction of mankind detected by Anon and the Phantom Society's purpose are related. Ringo and Figu and Yatagarasu, Agent Arrow, Milady, and Saizo temporarily joined forces due to their interests coinciding. So we know that they have different, sort of factions that they're a part of within the Devil Summoners when it comes to Agent Arrow, Milady, and Saizo, which is the main three that we have within the group that go alongside Ringo and help fight. So we have Ringo, we have Arrow, we have Milady, and Saizo, which are the three people we have, plus I guess Ringo kind of being the deity that's helping them somewhat get along the path to help her make sure destruction doesn't happen. And it looks like Fig was actually supposed to do some other stuff, but their person got killed, so they were not able to actually bring them back to sort of save humankind from destruction. So this is kind of what we have so far in terms of story, but we can now go into some of these antagonist profiles and see what more they're about. But this is how the story sort of coincides with the Phantom Society, and how somehow, even though like Milady's part of the Phantom Society, somehow her interests still coincide with the rest of the people who was part of a different faction of devil summoners. For some reason, she is part of the team though, because it somehow helps her with her goal. Maybe she sort of denies the things that have happened with this, sort of bad society. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see and how that works out and plays into the story. Alright, and first up we have here is Iron Mask. So this is a character we have seen. Like I said, most of these characters we have seen them, but we don't know the exact stuff behind them, I guess. So it says, a devil summoner who belongs to the Phantom Society, so we kind of knew that. He is the leader behind the C Project, a project shrouded in mystery within the Phantom Society. He always wears an iron mask, and he is ruthless when it comes to his mission. Not many people in the organization knows his actual face. So this is a little bit of a Handsome Jack situation, but, Handsome Jack's, fake face actually looks like his real face. But we have sort of this iron mask on him to where he's just not going to show what his actual face looks like. And from what I can kind of tell, it seems like he's higher up, maybe more of a leadership role when it comes to the actual, faction that he's a part of when it comes to the Phantom Society. So he's sort of the higher up guy when it comes to that stuff, it looks like. Moving on, we have Zenon, which is another character we kind of know about. I think this is the guy who actually kills the one scientist dude. So he's a man-made demon, also known as Zoma. He was created by Iron Mask, operating under his command. So Iron Mask is able to basically just tell this half-demon, man-made demon, homunculus thing what to do at any time. So Zenon is a skilled fighter, but on the other hand, his intelligence does not seem particularly high, so he doesn't have good intelligence. He kills Anda under the orders of the Iron Mask. He takes the Red Covenant. So the Red Covenant is the actual scientist himself. So we have to see that there is a difference here. There are factions, which is like the Phantom Society, but then there's covenants who are the actual people themselves. So that scientist guy is actually the Red Covenant. And from what we know here, Iron Mask created our dude here. Zoma was one name, but Zenon is what we could call him. So Zenon actually goes and kills the Red Covenant. And from what we know, that is the sort of secret plan that the, you know, Phantom people are after. The Phantom Society is trying to get all these covenants, and the Red Covenant being that one scientist. We know that this is their goal. What it does exactly, it's kind of hard to say. So let's move on over to another character, and that's Chironda. So a world-renowned computer engineer has achieved various feats in demonstrating a strong intelligence, being called upon to work on state-sponsored projects. He is a former owner of the Red Covenant. He completed his research project called Vanishing System, but is killed by Iron Mask and Zenon. So he says that he's the former Red Covenant, which makes me think that maybe once you are killed, if you are a Covenant and you're then killed, the Covenant then transfers over to you. So Zenon, or Zoma, the man-made creature demon thing, maybe is now the Red Covenant. After that happens, it's kind of hard to say exactly what that means, or does it just change factions? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what that means, but this is the guy who dies by the hands of like the man-made creature and is then brought over. So let's read more into what it actually says for covenants here. So this is the actual detailed stuff when it comes to what a covenant actually is. So it is a mighty power passed down from human soul to human soul since time immemorial. So the owner can receive various benefits, many of them having developed talents and carving their place in the forefront of history. Resembles a glowing snake, so we have seen that in some of the trailers here. We actually see whenever, you know, Zenon kills that guy, kills the dude who we just talked about, we actually see that snake-looking thing. And that is actually the Covenant. It's the Red Covenant, which we have seen some of the other characters have as well. I think notably we've seen that Fig have that, or maybe Ringo also has that as well. They have the different colored covenants, so we know that other characters have this, the scientist guy just being the one who has the red one. So it is usually visible, crawling out of one's body when the bearer dies, so you can literally kill them and collect it. It is said that there are 5 covenants in total, and when all of them gather together, a great being will descend, but not everything about their existence is known, and they still have many mysteries. So there are just 5 of them, so there's only a limited number of characters that could possibly have this. But let's move on to more details about the Phantom Society. So, an organization composed of many devil summoners and demons. It has a long history, called by a secret society watching over the evolution of mankind from the shadows. Most of its agents have a strong hatred for the world. We can kind of see that. For one reason or another, it is said that the purpose of the organization is to descend of the Great Being. So they're trying to make the Great Being happen by having these covenants, but their true intentions and the actual state of the organization are unknown. So what exactly they plan to do with this Great Being? Are they trying to control this Great Being? Is it possible, I guess, to even control this Great Being? Who really knows? It's kind of hard to say, but we know that this is what they are after. So we have one more faction that we can talk about here, and this is the Yatagarasu. So this is what I think we're led to believe that our main protagonists are sort of a part of. It is also said that they are called the superstate organization Yatagarasu, which is an independent organization entrusted with just the spiritual defense of Japan. They don't care about politics, they don't care about religions and stuff like that. The only thing they want to do is work on spiritual incidents that actually harm Japan. And it says here that the organization frequently has to confront the Phantom Society. So it seems like they have some clashing ideologies with the Phantom Society. So we have the Yatagarasu, and then we have the Phantom Society, and it also says here that the Yatagarasu are a number of elite agents, has a small number of elite agents that work for them, including the legendary Kuzunoha clan of Devil Summoners. So we know that there's a chance that maybe Raidu is also a part of this, so we know that the Yatagarasu is a big clan, but it is very few, but still very powerful. And they sort of look past all politics and everything. Kind of reminds me of like the White Lotus, I guess you could say, from like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where it's like politics, religion, power, everything's thrown out just to protect sort of the spiritual world of things. And it looks like that is what our protagonists are gonna kind of be a part of, is this group that just want to have spiritual, you know, balance within the world. And it looks like that's kind of what they're on about, which to me sounds interesting. I am very excited for this game's story. Like I've said in the past, I think this game might have some of the best story elements when it comes to, you know, not only just different characters that we have within our group, having different factions that they were a part of, but literally, like, I believe Sharktooth Guy died by a person part of the Phantom Society. So Milady is a part of a group that killed one of her partners right now, like currently within the group, which is going to have some fighting, of course. And we have the two groups, and we'll have to see, I guess, who comes out on top. This game has multiple endings. I am feeling like maybe it depends on who wins or what happens with these two groups specifically, or maybe one group gets their main goal, maybe one group doesn't. Who really knows? I have a feeling that the great deity or whatever it is, after all the covenants are put together, I have a feeling that maybe all of them are going to happen. I mean, how is it not going to happen? I really want that to happen, so I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to say, like, they're going to talk about this great deity when all five are put together. It's like, well, yeah, like, of course it's going to happen. We're going to see it happen, of course. Or maybe they'll try to manufacture or create covenants or something like that to try and make it be a thing. Who really knows? I guess we'll have to wait in the future to kind of see what's going to happen here. I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. There's not much else. They didn't give any more details or anything for this for Soul Hackers 2. They did just send out these screenshots and a little bit of these main characters and the story stuff. That's all we have for right now when it comes to Soul Hackers 2 information. I'll be sure to keep you up to date, so subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you know when I go live, or whenever I have a new video come out. I'll keep you up to date on everything, so like, comment, subscribe for more content. As always, thank you so much for watching.